Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. You're coming here for the truth. I must be telling some kind of truth. That's why YouTube demonetized me. It's kind of like a badge of honor now. If I was just pushing neoliberal nonsense, I wouldn't get demonetized. Only watch shows that have been demonetized. Oh, man. So support what we do at patreon.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's $10 a month for the premium. You get all this cool premium content, and then you get to support all these other content creators. They don't censor us over there. And then go to GrahamElwood.com and get a mug. Look at that. Tastes like truth. Oh, AOC. We all had such hope, right? I was so excited when she came on the scene. And when she won, I was like, oh my God, this is big. Now there's hope. Here we go. Get the squad in there. Oh, here we go now. Some real change. We can really get some progressive platforms in there. I saw her speak at some Bernie Sanders rallies in 2019 and 2020. And now... and people are like, go easy on her. Go easy on her. No, she said she was going to do all these things. That's worse to me than telling me like the Republicans, they're not going to help me. They don't care about me at all. They've made that very clear. They don't care about me. They don't care about making my life better. They don't care about giving me Medicare for all. They don't want student debt forgiveness. They don't want $15 now. They don't want any of those things. But AOC says she's going to do it, and then she doesn't. Graham, that's not fair. Really? I didn't do this study. This isn't my study. Study declares AOC one of the least effective members of Congress. And the study was done by like University of Virginia. It wasn't done like by, Sean Hannity's gun club or whatever. It was done by like some universities. They just did it. They just did studies. Because I'm like, what law? I keep at when everyone's like, go easy on her. I go, what laws has she passed? What has she done? How has she made our lives better? All she does is tweet. She wouldn't even do force the vote. She won't. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was among the least effective members of the last Congress, according to a new survey for Non-Partisan Center for Effective Lawmaking. Graham, you're being too mean. I didn't do this study. I'm just telling you about this study. Why don't you go harder on the Republicans? Because I already know they're evil. I already know they're awful. AOC said she was going to fight for us. They could have done force the vote. We could all be having Medicare for all right now. She could be screaming, demanding it. Joe Biden could give us Medicare for all on executive action. He could have done it January 20th, the day he was sworn in. Student debt forgiveness, Joe Biden could do. Oh, how do you know that? 85% of all student loans are they're federal loans, so he could just forgive them. You don't have to pay them back. You don't even need Congress for that. He could give us Medicare for all because COVID is a national emergency. We are been in a state of national emergency for a year. The president is given wide range of powers during an emergency declaration and could say he won't. AOC introduced a total of 21 bills, which the Senate defined as substantive, but that is where the story ends. Her legislation received no action in committee, no floor votes, and none ever became law, according to the center, which takes its data from congress.gov. So when you introduce a law, it's a matter of public record. So if liberals are going to get mad at me, oh, Graham, what are you, a Trumper? No, I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist. She used to call herself a democratic socialist, and now she doesn't anymore. We've seen that interview on World Socialist website. Blames everything on the Republicans. You have a democratically controlled Congress. You're the most popular congressperson ever. You have 12 million Twitter followers. If AOC got behind force the vote, it would have happened. She could send one tweet and just she could have gotten 100,000 people outside of the Capitol, not wearing Nazi paraphernalia and AR-15s, but saying, we're not leaving till we force the vote. I'm forcing the vote on Medicare for all. I'm demanding that. She won't do it. And this organization has proven that she's done nothing. She introduced a lot of bills, but she was not successful at having them receive any sort of action in committee or beyond committee. And if they can't get through committee, they cannot pass the House. Alan Weissman, a Vanderbilt political scientist and co-director of the center. When looking at the legislative effectiveness of all congressional Democrats, AOC was ranked 230 out of 240 Democrats. Among the 19 Dem lawmakers from New York State, she ranked dead last. She's our ally in the Congress. How? What has she done? When somebody says, well, she's really fighting for us, show them this. She's done nothing. This is not my study. I was a huge fan of hers. You can go back in my back catalog and watch all of my videos of me talking about she's great, she's awesome, she's the future, all this hope. We want to believe, right? We want to believe. We're all paying so much attention to politics. We want to believe, man. I saw Glenn Greenwald talking on the Jimmy Dore show about this. He fell for it. Jimmy fell for it. We all were like, oh, she's the future. She's young. She's smart. She was a bartender. It's all concocted, man. Or maybe that was real and she got in the power, and power. People always acquiesce. Glenn Greenwald talks about it. They get to power. They get their job at MSNBC, or they get to Congress or whatever. And then there's real money. They got a nice house. They don't want to give that up. And they'll play ball, and then you play ball and you pass nothing. She's dead last. How do you have 12 million Twitter followers? You're the most recognizable congressperson in America today, without a doubt. She is the most popular politician in America right now, without a doubt. And you can't get anything done? Oh, but Graham, she can't. So these are going to be used. Well, she couldn't get into committee. She could go tweet and say, this is my bill. Everybody call their Congress people. Make this pass. Demand it, demand it, demand it. We're going to force the vote. She could use her power of 12 million Twitter followers and really affect some real change, but she won't. That's why she's dead last in New York. 230th out of 240. Wow. Do you get a plaque for that? Or is this video an act of violence? You know what's an act of violence? 60,000 people dying every year because they don't have health care. That's an act of violence. Tweeting is easy. Governing is hard. You need to have friends. You need to understand the committee process. You need to be willing to make sacrifices, said one person. That's an interview with like an anonymous person within the Democratic Party. So this quote tells you why she's acquiesced, because she could have fought them outside of it, using her Twitter, using the power of the American people and all these people that are behind her to get real change made, but she didn't. She tried to reform from within, and from within they said, you better play ball. And now Nancy Pelosi is Mama Bear. You cannot reform the Democratic Party from within. It is impossible. You can't reform the Republican Party from within because they've become a neo-fascist organization. You can't do it. $230 out of 240 Democratic congresspeople. That's where she ranks. Dead last in New York, 230th in America. That's the tweet squad. That's the head of the tweet squad for you. Go to this center, go to this place for the study and see where Ro Khanna is, see where Omar, see where Presley, see where they're all at. I know where they're not. They're not doing interviews on this show. Right? 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 It hurts more when someone you thought was going to fight for you is the worst. It hurts more. Like I'm not disappointed or feel betrayed by Ted Cruz. He's always been a weasel. When he went to the, Barbados or the Caribbean or wherever he went, Cancun or whatever, when Texas was freezing and people were starving and dying because they didn't have electricity, and he took his family to, I wasn't like shocked. I was like, yeah, that's Ted Cruz. He's a filthy sellout. But when I see AOC not forced to vote, and then, Jimmy Dore was mean to me, she could have saved people's lives, and she chose not to because she didn't want to give up her power. And she's naive or a sucker or a plant. I don't know what. She doesn't realize how much power she has. She could dictate. She could change the Democratic Party. She could go, no, we're doing it this way. I have 12 million Twitter followers. I have the will of the people behind me. Bye-bye Pelosi. Bye-bye Chuck Schumer. Step aside. This is how we're doing it. And we would love her. And she would get even a bigger following. But she's not doing that because she wants to be included. She wants the cool kids to invite her to the party at the corporate Democratic table. And when Jimmy Dore had her on her show and helped her get elected, she was like, yeah, upstart. She doesn't want to be on Jimmy's show. She doesn't want to be on this show. She wants to be on MSNBC. She wants to do Vanity Fair covers with Nancy Pelosi wearing $2,000 pantsuits or whatever. That's what she wants to wear. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. There it is, kids. Shave your knuckles for justice. Ba-boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.